The hiatus is over and we are back with episode 106 of Power Book 2 Ghosts, Good versus Evil. A fitting title as the entire episode exposes each character to the question, are you fundamentally good or bad? Look at fine Method Man, Davis McLean. Focus. He's helping Saxe take down Tariq. We got to keep our eyes on him. At the start of the episode, we are quickly caught up with learning that Tasha is headed to trial and Tariq is starting to get a handle on school. Look at him, showing up to class early for a change. His class is currently discussing literature of Locke versus Hobbes, which poses the question about whether people are fundamentally good or bad. This sets the tone for the entire episode and sends Tariq inward as you can see him start to question himself. Prashandra makes a point that more often than not, everyone is out for themselves, which is an indirect nod to the point that Tariq made on numerous occasions with Ghost. He hated Ghost for how selfish he felt that he was, and the Tariq that we see today looks a lot like the man he hated a few months ago. Watching Davis and Saxe work together but against each other in the jury selection is hilarious, even for the judge. They get through the process swiftly, and just as discussed, they cultivate a mostly black or minority, drug and women sympathetic jury. This is going almost too well. I'm getting less and less worried about Davis helping Saxe because one thing I know about the Powerverse, if something seems too good to be true, it definitely is. We have been wondering and now we all know. 2-Bit is back and he is in play. It's not clear how he actually fits just yet, but Davis is helping him get out of jail in exchange for him supporting the narrative that Tasha is not the queenpin. Enter Blanca, who still has a vendetta for Saxe and knows exactly what to do and have 2-Bit say so that he doesn't snitch, give up any real information, but still gets to walk out of custody with his deal. The light of this episode shines brightest on the Tejeda family. It is clear that while a powerful unit, they have quite a few chinks in their armor. Kane wants to lead and control the business, disagreeing with a lot of Monet's recent decisions. Drew wants love and a space to explore his relationship with Everett, not to break down bricks and count cash for the family business. And Diana wants it all, to have love, her own life, and also to make her mother happy. But unfortunately, making her mother happy looks a lot like not stepping into her own independence or owning her life and pursuing love. Before we can get the deal on why Monet is summoning Drew and Diana to go to work with her today, we get to see them put a battery in Kane's back, allowing him to believe that Tariq and Diana have slept together. It's a no for Kane, and he's up at Stanfield looking for Tariq in no time. Saxe has literally took Angela's place as the sloppiest, messiest, and damn shamedest U.S. attorney ever. He tried to pull Riley out of the mess, but it's too late. She's already in love with Braden, and she's all in. That ain't gonna change, Uncle Nancy. The real point of their entire exchange comes down to when Riley says that he's a good person, just like you, referring to Braden. And she does not know how right yet wrong she is. When Kane arrives at Stansfield, he doesn't find Tariq, but he does find Braden, who's in the middle of confronting Trace about stealing their drugs. I can't figure out if Braden is really charming and cool or damn dumb and lucky. He calls Kane by name, and Kane sees this as an opportunity to see what these white boys are made of and see what they know. How, you may ask? By kidnapping them and then dropping them off on 2 separate corners in the hood, instructing them to sell his drugs. Yes, he put 2 Ivy League rich white boys on the corner. Kane is a wild boy. Tariq reappears in the episode shortly after, walking into his room to see Riley going through his things under the guise of looking for Brady. After a few questions and annoyances, because Riley always has questions for Tariq, he realizes that something is really wrong because their chess pieces are knocked over on the board. If you remember in episode 5, Tariq told Braden that if anything ever went wrong, to knock over all the chess pieces on the board so that he would know. Drew can't live in his boo bliss for a few hours before Diana is knocking at the door ready to drag him back to Queens. Well, to be fair, he did buck Monet and leave the trap house after he was explicitly told to break down bricks and to do work. That family's hold on everyone is terrible. No wonder they're all starting to buck one by one. But the visit to Everett's wasn't all a lust-filled loss because Everett gets a delivery from Course Correct. Yes, Tariq's drug front tutoring app that lets them know exactly how he's moving weight at the school. Up until the moment where Tariq and Riley are playing chess in his room, I actually thought that Riley was a smart girl. and a lucky girl. Until she starts talking about the drink at Tariq's party, which he knew nothing about. Yeah, girl, you stepped in it. This might be the beginning of the reason why Tariq will have to deal with Riley later on. It hasn't come out yet, but she's related to Saxe, and that will probably come out too, the way she's going. While in an interesting game of chess, both physically and mentally with Riley, Diana shows up and confronts him on course correct. When she attempts to go into Tariq's room, he stops her and things escalate a bit more for her, and then she goes in. Girl, you was not there to check him on no course correct anyway. Y'all know she was there to fill him out, and when she feels like Lauren's in the room and Tariq is lying, that breaks something in her. Meanwhile, in Queens, Kane has put both Trace and Brayden on the block to sell drugs and figured out that while Trace might be exactly who he thought he was, there's a little bit more meat on Brayden's bones. Trace is almost killed on the corner, but Brayden makes friends and moves all the product before Kane can return to pick him up. And when Kane picks him up and sees that there's not a scratch on him, he's low-key impressed. That moment is short-lived though, as the word is circulating around the hood about two white boys selling drugs on the corner, and Ramirez pulls Kane over to check him on it. I know Ramirez is a crooked cop, but I have yet to see him be bad. Don't let me down, because you low-key be coming through. Before he takes Trace and Brayden back to Stansfield, Ramirez also uses this moment to confront Kane about being off his leash. Yeah, not a good idea. Ramirez takes Trace and Brayden back to school, but reminds them that he was supposed to take them into custody for drug distribution, but he will keep his mouth shut if they do. Y'all know what that means. Trace, like the privileged person he is, tries to buck, but Brayden swiftly checks him, and we can see the power dynamics amongst these brothers has shifted. Riley and Tariq hit a stalemate in chess just as Brayden is walking in, and before he runs off with Riley, he gets to update Tariq on the night and how happy he is. Yes, how happy he is. Brayden got high on being on the corner, making a lot of money very quickly, and is now falling deeper in love with the life. I don't know if that's a good thing or a problem in the making. And Ramirez is not done for the night, as he swing by Monet's to remind her that she needs to control Kane better, while also implying that she probably can't. That was some foreshadowing for our asses. Ramirez reminds her that she isn't a man, and that fact will prove problematic when she's trying to reel Kane in. Monet takes a moment to reassure Tariq before Ramirez storms out, because y'all know how he do, and then we jump to hours later where we actually see Monet and Kane confront. Their talk escalates very quickly, resulting in Kane knocking Monet down. Raise a hand to Monet. Yeah, not a good idea. I thought we were getting an endearing father-son moment with Kane and Lorenzo, when what we really got is Lorenzo showing how far his reach is and punishing Kane for accidentally hitting Monet. The correctional officers him up bad. With him and Monet on the outs, him running to his dad for help in jail and then getting beat up, it's interesting to think about what Kane will do next. He's not the type that works best or thinks best alone. Isolating him will probably make matters worse. And the episode ends with 2-Bit's release. If I know Courtney Kemp like I think I know Courtney Kemp, this is a foreshadowing moment for the Re-Emergence of Tommy. Let's go. And that's it. That's the rundown of episode 106, Good vs. Evil of POWERBOOK 2 Ghosts. Subscribe to Erica Vane TV if you haven't already, and be sure to like this video because I know you liked it. If you want more Powerverse videos, watch the Lauren and Diana breakdown here, or watch the episode 5 Gift of the Magi recap here. You can also live tweet with us every Sunday night when a new episode premieres on STARZ at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm your host, Erica Vane, and I will see you in the next video.